everyone, this is Anna with the Paint Mixer, painting from home with you today. So before we get started, I'm just going to go over how this works. So you should have your own Creativity to Go kit, and pretty much how this experience works is we'll be taking you step by step through your painting. Between steps, you're welcome to rock out to music, and the cool thing about painting from home is you can wear pajamas, you can be eating your own snacks, and you can take your time. So if you're following along with our videos, feel free to press pause and rewind if you need to see something again. But pretty much how this works is I'll go step by step. In between steps, you can rock out to music, dance, just have fun, and this will go back and forth for however long you like, and by the time you're finished, you'll have your very own masterpiece. So a couple things to keep in mind is that it's your very own masterpiece, so it's going to look different than mine, and that's okay. So have fun, get creative, don't be afraid to go rogue. Maybe you want to do something a little different than our examples, you're welcome to do so. We've given you all the tools to kind of create your own masterpiece. So maybe if you want to do something like finger paint or a landscape that looks a little different than ours, go for it. Alright, so let's talk about our tools of the trade. First of all, in your Paint From Home kit, there was some butcher paper. So make sure you lay that down on whatever surface you're painting on, because we're working with acrylic paint. Acrylic paint is water-based, so water is your friend whenever you're switching colors in your brush. You can always clean out your brush with the water. If you get paint on your clothes, it can become permanent once it dries. So this is a good time to grab an apron, an old t-shirt, something to protect your outfit. Also roll up long sleeves if you're wearing long sleeves. If you do get paint on your clothes, you can always get it out with soap and water when it's still wet. Key, still wet. So just keep that in mind as you're painting. Our next tools of the trade are our brushes. Very important. So we use 5 brushes in total, and depending on which painting you're creating, you're probably only going to have 2, but I'll go through all of them just so you know which one is which. Alright, biggest in the brush family is the Big Daddy brush. This guy is really good at spreading a lot of paint very quickly. Second largest brush kind of has a rounded top, looks like a makeup brush. This is the Mama brush. Really great for blending, if you're creating a sunset, a smooth gradient. It's best to use the Mama brush. Also, when you're not using your brushes, you can always put them bristle first in your water cup, so that way you can reuse them and the paint doesn't dry on the bristles. Alright, brush number 3, the square brush. This is the shape of a square and is great for right angles, straight lines, anything geometric. Alright, last 2, the larger of the 2, this one has a rounded barrel and kind of comes to a point and is a little fluffy. This is the Sharpie brush. Great for a variety of line widths. If you use a light touch, you get a very thin line. The harder you press with this brush, the bristles flare out and you get a very wide line. And lastly, the littlest in the brush family, this is the baby brush. Great for itty-bitty details, things like signing your painting, outlining, and anything small and delicate. So, the brushes are yours to keep. If you would like to use them again, make sure you use proper brush care. So when you're done with them, you can rinse them out with soap and water and blot them to dry, making sure there's no paint left in the bristles, and they'll be ready to go for the next time you want to get creative. Those are the tools of the trade. Have fun with them, and we hope to see you again soon. But thank you so much for supporting our business and getting creative in these hard times. Be safe, be well, have fun, and get creative. Don't forget to check out new offerings and creative opportunities at thepaintmixer.com. And you can always share what you make on Instagram and tag us at _paintmixer. And we would love to see everything you're making from home. Thanks again.
Hi there, it's Abby with the Paint Mixer. Today we will be painting this Tahitian sunset. Hopefully you have looked through the other videos to make sure you know the brushes and everything that you need to get started. Make sure you have a cup of water, your paint brushes, paint, dirty t-shirt, But let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to be doing is with this square brush, using that dark green and some white, we will just be mixing a pale green. And in the top section of the canvas, top third, you can draw a line if it helps you. We'll just be filling that section in with this pale green color. Again, we'll be painting the sides. I'm using a recycled canvas, which you are more than welcome to do. If you have some canvases laying around that you want to revamp. Filling in, getting all the corners. Every couple of brush strokes, I like to get a little bit more water on my brush just so that the paint glides smoother over the canvas. And this doesn't need to be a perfect line. We will be coming back over it with other colors. We're just getting the initial paint on the canvas so that we can move forward with the painting. Go ahead and clean your brush off, and the next thing we'll be doing is using the same brush with white, yellow, and a little bit of red. Some white, a little bit of red, and some yellow. Maybe I want some more white in there. And we will be painting the middle section, the middle third of the canvas with this fun yellowy bright orangish color. And it's okay to overlap that line, blend it in a little bit so we have a fun sunset going. And you can use a variety of brush strokes and combinations of these colors just to get some fun transitions going on with the sunset. Again, wrapping this color along the side of the canvas. Making a really fun sunset. Getting some of those peachy colors going on. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more of the bright yellow down here towards the horizon line where the sun is heading in the sunset. Go ahead and clean your brush off really well at this point, because the next thing we'll be doing, step 3, is using that blue and white and painting the remainder of the canvas, the ocean. So if you have any yellow left on your brush, blue and yellow make green, which we already have the beautiful green in the sky, but we want to get a nice blue going in the bottom section of the canvas for the ocean. And wrapping that color on the sides. Again, water is our friend, so don't be afraid to use it, especially when we're painting the water. Getting all those edges again, the bottom. Okay, so we have our entire canvas covered now, and we're going to clean our brushes off really well. We need this to dry just a little bit, but the next thing we're going to be doing is using blue and red and maybe a little bit of white to create some really beautiful purple clouds in the sky. So you can use either the square brush or the baby brush in this part. I'm going to go ahead and start with the square brush. So I've cleaned it off nice. And using that blue that I just created, the blue and white, I'm just going to get a little bit of red and bring it into that color. And I'm going to get a little bit more white. A little bit more red. Just playing around with creating a variety of purple, and then taking that into the sky. So I'm adding some deep purple clouds. They can really be wherever you want them to be. So I'm going to start over in this corner because this is already dry. And I'm just going to start to create a variety of different brush strokes that will start to create some wispy clouds coming into my scene. It's super fun to wrap the clouds around the edges of the canvas in this part too, just so it looks nice and finished. And have fun creating these clouds. The clouds are all different shapes and sizes and thicknesses. So adding a variety of clouds is super fun. I'm just kind of wiggling my brush along to create the movement in the sky. some down here. I'm getting a little orange. Okay, I'm gonna clean that brush off now, and I'm gonna make a tiny little sun shape in the sky. So using the baby brush and white and a little bit of yellow. I am creating a nice pale color. I want it to be more white than yellow, just so it doesn't blend in too much with our sky. But always start with a smaller circle, and you can always add more paint. So somewhere in your sky, go ahead and just start creating a little white circle. For your sun or moon or whatever you want it to be. I'm going about the size of a quarter or something. About that. Okay, so using that baby brush still, we can come back and add, maybe we want a little bit of sun reflection in our water. And you can also continue to add some more clouds if you're up for it. Playing around with the sky. Maybe have a cloud come over top your moon or sun. Just adding some wispy clouds around your sky. Add a little bit more pink in there for some wispy clouds with the baby brush. You really just go ahead and have fun with it. Okay. Next thing we will be doing, you can use the baby brush or the square brush. I'm gonna do the square. And with just black, on the lower part of the canvas, I'm going to create, I guess that's the shoreline. So I'm going to get those corners on a diagonal and wrapping, maybe bump it out a little bit, create some rocks, silhouettes of the rocks along the beach. And I'm going to wrap the black around the edges. And then from there, odd numbers are more appealing to the eye than even. So you can use this square brush if you can get a nice skinny line for it. You can start to create your palm trees. So I like to start from the tallest and just work my way down. I'm going to start by doing some fun kind of swiggly vertical lines for the trunks of the palm trees. And I think I'm going to do, I would say do an odd number, maybe 3, 5, or 7, depending on how big you want your palm trees to be. I'm going to do 5, and I'm going to have them kind of crisscross over one another. Break it up some. And I'm using light pressure on my brush so that I get a skinnier line. Again, you can do this with your baby brush as well by creating these nice palm trunks. Okay, got a little fat at the bottom, that's okay. Alrighty, and then from there, using the baby brush or the square brush, whichever one you feel more comfortable with, you can go ahead and start adding your palm leaves. I'm going to have that guy go up and off of the canvas. That one's crossing over my moon. You can use your fingers to roll the baby brush, getting a little bit of paint in there. You can also do like a Q-tip motion on its edge so you can get a nice skinny line. Just go ahead and create your palm leaves. Do a couple of circles around where the palm tree leaves hit the tree, so you can make some coconuts. I like to make my leaves so that they kind of droop downward because it gives the sense that there is gravity at the beach, showing that things are falling down towards the ground and drooping that way. Or they could be blowing in the wind. They can really make any shape you want them to. Once you feel good with your palm trees, you can touch up any other spaces you'd like. But I think for me, that is it. The final phase is to sign it. So you can also, I almost forgot, you can use the wooden end of the brush. This part, see how there's already some white paint on there? That means I've used it for this purpose. You're just gonna dunk it into the white And in the sky, you can start to create little stars if you would like, that's coming through the clouds. Maybe add a little more white into your moon. Again, just have fun with it. It's your painting. Once you feel good about what you've done, go ahead with that baby brush and initial your painting. You can do it on the front, or if you want, even you can flip it on the back and do it on the back. But thank you so much for painting with me. My name is Abby, and stay tuned for more videos.
So one last thing before we leave each other, don't forget to post your painting on social media and share all the beautiful things you've made. So our Instagram is @the_paintmixer. And anything that you have made while you've been at home, we'd love to see. And keep looking for other paintings that we'll be offering throughout this time. Thank you so much.